Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my new YouTube channel, Just Chaz Living and Learning. If you are watching this from my other channel, Just Chaz Trying to Figure Things Out, I really appreciate you coming over to this channel and supporting me here. I was really bummed out that I had to stop and pause that channel for a while due to me being unable to have comments. However, this channel has been working out well. I've gotten a couple comments already, and I just hope that whoever is wanting to hear my Zepbound videos are able to hear them and interact if they want to. Anyway, again, welcome back. I am Just Chaz. I started Zepbound, the GLP-1, about 14 months ago. So I'm a little over a year on this journey. Presently, I've lost 53 pounds, and I am very, very pleased. However, I have more to go, and I wanted to share some things in this video to give you some background information on kind of how that went for me. I remember telling everyone about Teledoc. So this is what I use to track my weight, which is a very nice app. And I can go through and look at my weight loss month to month and see where I had good months and where I didn't. Also, every 3 months I went up a dose. So I can also tell month to month which dose during that time maybe was working better for me than others. I haven't quite analyzed that yet. However, now that I've been discussing my journey on my channel, I'm very interested to see. So when you log on, this is kind of what you see here. And when you scroll down, I don't want this video to be too long. When you scroll down, so this is so far, it has my weight, and then it also has my steps that I've done so far. It's about noon. I'm ashamed of those steps, so I need to increase them. I do have a 5,000 step goal. However, of course, you want it to be more, but at least I try to get at least 5,000. It doesn't always work. So when you click the weight, okay, so I'm presently 196 pounds. I did last week see 195 pounds. And I'm going to talk about that too, your weight fluctuating and hitting stalls, because I've had all of that. Because last week I was 195. Now I'm 196. But you have to get that out of your mind and keep moving and not let that stop your progress. So, with that being said, when I started, let me get my data. Okay, let me go back. So I started in March of 2025. And it was towards the first week. Now, I didn't get my scale in this app until probably a couple weeks later. So my highest weight when I started Zepbound was 248 pounds. And I do believe, if I am not mistaken, because it was my sister's birthday the next day. So I took my first shot ahead of her birthday. So her birthday is the 9th of March. So I believe my first shot was March 8th, 2025. So by the time, so I was 248 then, and then by the time March 15th came along, I was 239. So I lost 9 pounds initially in that first week. Okay, it's not going to be in my data um, because I hadn't gotten the app in the scale yet. So in March 2025, I lost a total of 9 plus 2 more, so a total of 11.9 pounds because I'm adding the 9 with my total. Okay, so that was that week before when I didn't have the app in the scale. So that was an 11.9 loss. So that was, I'm probably pretty sure that was the biggest loss that I've ever had taking this medication. And if you are thinking about taking it, that first month, you're going to fly. I haven't heard many people who have not lost weight in that first month. I would be shocked if there was someone who was stalled out in the first month. So 11.9 pounds in my first month. And then we go to April 2025. I was down 5.5 pounds. Okay, so I was 9, I'm around it, 5.5, so we'll say 6 in April. So that last day in April, I was 235 pounds. I had started off at 248. That was the end of April. And these are the different times I step on the scale. That's why I really, really like this. Okay, and then May, I only lost 0.2 pounds that whole month in May. So I'm not sure what was going on. And that was also probably the end of my 2.5 because I went in 3-month increments. So I'm pretty sure it makes a lot of sense that May is probably at the end of 2.5 and I was ready to move up. And it makes sense when you look at my totals because I had only lost 0.2 pounds that month. And then in June, I'm sure I went up to 5 and I had lost 4.9. So I can actually write that down. I'm going to say 5 pounds in June. So at the end of June, my last weight, it was 227. I had started off at 248. So I was down a little over 20 pounds, and that was just in 3 months. Just 3 months, March to June. Okay. So let's see. This is kind of fun for me to look at because I hadn't seen it. I hadn't kind of reviewed this and visited this in a while. And then July, I didn't lose anything, not 1 pound. I do see that I made it to 219, but it didn't stay. I shot back up. Wow, that was a crazy month. And July is so I'm a teacher, and I know a lot of my teacher friends are like, in the summer, I do so much more. That's the time I lose the most weight. I'm so active. It is the complete opposite for me. I am the least active in the summer as far as just like activities, stuff like that. I mean, of course, I have my household, and I do beach days, and we do go on a camping trip, things like that. But if I don't have anything planned, I am a couch potato because summer is my reset time. The school year takes so much out of me. When the end of June comes, in July, I'm like a zombie. I am like so exhausted mentally that I don't do a lot. So I can really understand why I didn't lose any weight in July, not 1 pound. I totally get it. I'm going to try to change that, though, this summer. Okay, so no weight was lost in July. August, I only weighed in one time. So I was probably still kind of feeling a little funky. And if you can look at the one time I did weigh, I was the same as July. So July and August were not good months for me. And this is what we talk about when we say stalls. And so whenever you hear a GLP-1 YouTuber say stall, they mean you're going about 4 or 5, maybe 6 weeks with no weight loss. And that looks like that July, August of 2025 is when I had a stall. For me, I barely even remember it. I did not panic about it. I wasn't gaining any weight, so that was fine. I would panic if I start like gaining a bunch of pounds. Not saying 1 or 2, that's fine, but if it was 5, 6, 7, 8 pounds gaining, then I would have, taken notice and got. But when you hit these stalls, it's just, I believe, and remember, I'm not a medical doctor. Please don't take any medical advice from me. But I think it's just your body's way of resetting. Again, like I said, that was my summer. I'm a teacher. That is my straight up relaxing time, and I take full advantage of it. And I am a lazy bones during my summer. Other than my garden and a few things that I do, I really protect my well-being in the summer, and I chill. And that's just the way it is. But I am going to try to change that. Okay, so no weight loss in July. Don't even know what August was because I only weighed in once. Now here comes September. So September, mind you, school starts back, and look at how much I lost. So no weight was lost in June or July. Oops. Oh no, I don't want to remove anything. Cancel. So no weight was lost in June and July. Then lo and behold, I start back work. Okay. I got on the scale the 2nd. I was 220. So I did lose a little bit right at the beginning because I was 223 in August. But look at the difference of when I started back work. Look at that. And I thought that first month would have been my highest. Actually, September 2025 looks like it's taking the number 1 spot. So I can put that down. That was 13 pounds even. So I went from 220 to 207 in that month. So that was a good month for me. I didn't even realize that. Okay, October, I lost 1.8, went down just a couple, which is fine. November, 0.8, just a pound. This is where holiday time is coming. If you could see, I think I remember that when I had hit that 201. I remember when that happened, and I said, oh my God, I'm so close to the Wonderland mark. And nope, next time I got on it, that was fool's gold. Sometimes with the smart scales, I think if you step on it wrong or something, sometimes it messes up. Because I'm like, how you going to give me 201? Then I step back on and now I'm 205. So I was so bummed. I was so bummed out about that. I remember thinking about it now. It makes me laugh. So yeah, the scale gave it to me and took it right away. But I did lose 0.8 pounds, almost a pound that month. And the scientists say, so that was kind of like a slow turtle kind of month. And then the one I had, December, I'm going to show you in a second. But yeah, that's kind of like a slow. But for me, I take 1 pound a month. That's a quarter pound every week, and I'll take it. I mean, just think about it. 1 pound every month, that means in a year you're down 12 pounds. That kind of thing is priceless when it adds up, And then don't say maybe 1.1 pounds or 1.5. Then you're going from 12 to, now 18 pounds, almost a 20-pound loss. So we really have to think of the glass half full instead of the glass being half empty. Okay, and then December, only weighed myself twice, but I had lost a pound in the times I had weighed. A pound, 1.1 pounds. Don't forget that 0.1. It does matter. January, nothing. Now we're getting closer to where I am now. Okay, and as you can see, I'm still at that 205 where I was when I saw the 201 in November. So I'm in another little kind of a stall period where I'm not losing, but I'm not gaining either. So you just hold on to that. And then here comes February. I lost 5 pounds. And it was probably also an increase in my dose at this point. This is probably my 12, when I started my 12.5, because that's what I'm currently on right now. So yeah, I finally made Wonderland, a real Wonderland in this month where it wasn't full. It wasn't fool's gold. If you can look on the 17th when I weighed in, I got on there 3 times to make sure I was in Wonderland. And then I got on it the next morning to make sure the next day to make sure I was in Wonderland. But yep, I had finally made it to Wonderland in February. So a little less than a year, I went from 248 pounds to now 199 in February. And then March. So March, I lost 1 pound, 1.8. I did go back up to 200 at the end of that month. I was fluctuating between the Wonderland and the 200s, and I've seen that happen to people. And then April hits, and I'm Wonderland all the way. I'm Wonderland all the way with a total of 2.9 pounds. That was in April. And then now, May, I'm up a half a pound, which I was speaking about because I was 195 last week, and now I'm up a pound. So hopefully as this month progresses, that will even out. That was very fun to go through and show you that thing. I'm going to close my door. I'll be right back. Okay, it's time for my students to go to lunch. Well, I don't have students. This is my prep time, but they always like to come in when they see me in here in the empty room, so I close the door. So how much time? Okay, so I want to just go over real quick because I don't like taking too much of your time. The side effects. So you saw how I went through those stalls, those really big stalls. I showed you I had at least 3 of them over this past year. So those stalls happen where there's no weight being lost, and you just have to kind of keep rolling with it. The other thing with Zepbound GLP-1s, there's so many different ones. I can only speak for Zepbound. The side effects. I have only experienced 2 side effects. I know there's warnings about different side effects that happens with this drug. And I've only experienced 2. excuse me, my major one, excuse me, the major one is constipation. So that has been something that have had to deal with. Not all the time though. I would say I get a bad case of it about once a month. Okay, I get a bad case of constipation about once every month. What I do, and again, I'm not a medical professional, but what I do is I use a correctol. So that is a laxative. They say not to use that, but I have been using correctol for my constipation ever since I was a young girl, teenage age. I've gotten that from my mom. I've always used it. It's very light. It does not give all that cramping like some laxatives do. Um, and that's what I use. Again, it's about once a month, and when it happens on the weekend, like Friday when I get home from work, I'll take two little pink tablets. I'll take it within it'll be the rest of that Friday, then overnight, and then the next day, you get relief from it. So, and again, that's only about, I would say, once or maybe twice a month at the most. And before this Zepbound weight loss journey, constipation was not really an issue for me because I was just eating. So, that just never was a problem. I did not have that issue. So I know it is related to me taking this medication. But I'm going to tell you, I'll take this constipation over being 53 pounds heavier any day. Okay. So that's the number one side effect. And then the other side effect is fatigue. Now, if you don't get enough rest at night, if you don't drink enough water, this is for me, what I notice with me. I tend to get very tired. And I mean tired to the point where I can leave home from work, get home by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, evening, and I can sleep all the way till I wake up for work the next day. That's how tired sometimes that I am. And it's when I either have, burned the midnight oil for, too many days in a row previously, or if I'm, not staying up too late, just not getting sleep. And then it also happens if I don't drink enough water. If I'm feeling dehydrated, I get tired. And another, just thinking about this, and if I haven't ate enough. So, I've had those, you saw my stalls, but then I've had months where I've had the bigger losses. And I'm pretty sure some of those months I probably wasn't eating as much. Well, of course, that's what was happening. So that also can contribute to you being fatigued because you're not taking in as many calories as what your body is used to burning, and then it makes you tired. So those who have been in for the fatigue part of it, what I'll do is I've added a vitamin B supplement. I take a vitamin D supplement. I take calcium because I'm at that age where I need calcium. Yeah, those are the three. I need to add in some more supplemental drugs. I need to just do a multi vitamin. But those are the three that I take. I also take a Tylenol daily, an aspirin, just so I'm not headachy and That was something that I was doing before my Zepbound as well. Keeps the blood flowing, those kinds of things for me. So yeah, I haven't changed anything, but I want to change some things. Yes, I did have some success, but it could be better. And I know I can do better. So, in my next video, this is what I'm going to talk about, things that I'm going to start, things that I'm going to change, especially with the summer rolling around. And I just explain to you guys, summer is my lazy time. So I really need to step it up this summer and not go through a whole summer with no weight loss. So I plan on exercising, eating more protein, and adding more fiber to my diet. So I'm going to talk about some things that I'm going to do next week to get myself going with that. And I will also let you know, do a weight check-in and let you know if I lost anything next week because I'm still at that 196 and I would love to see the 180s. That's my next short-term goal, is to see those 180s. So I just want to say thank you everyone for tuning in and watching me rant about Zepbound and my weight loss. Please leave me a comment if you have a question, or hit that thumbs up. And also, I'm on a brand new channel. I don't even think I have any subscribers. So if you could not just watch, but also subscribe, at least I would know that I do have some people out there who like the interaction. So have a great rest of your week, and I'll see everybody soon. Bye-bye.